And welcome to episode 3 of Java Tutorials. Today we're going to be talking about loops. You use the loop when you want something to happen multiple times. And you can have that for a lot of reasons. So we have two loops. We have a while loop and we have a for loop. And they both use conditional statement. They both use Boolean expressions in them. So, we'll start with a while loop. And we'll use it to count. So, while, and here, this is going to be the most basic while loop you'll ever encounter. While true. And what that does is it will loop forever and ever and ever. Because true is always true. That will just continue going forever. But that's not particularly useful. So we can change this to make it a sort of useful loop. But to do that we need an int. So we're going to make a variable. So int loop, we'll just name it loop, and we'll start it equal to 0. So int loop equals 0. So now we need to decide how many times do we want to loop. So let's loop 15 times. So while loop is less than 15, and what that does is it will say, okay, so loop equals 0. Is loop less than 15? Is 0 less than 15? Well, yes. So it will do what's in these braces, which right now is nothing. And this also will continue forever and ever. Right now it will. But we can change that. So what we do is if we do loop equals loop plus 1, what will happen is loop equals 0. Is 0 less than 15? Yes. Okay. So loop equals loop plus 1. So now loop equals 1. Okay, go back to the while statement. Is 1 less than 15? And then it changes it to 2. Is 2 less than 15? Is 3 less than 15? So you can see how this will loop 15 times. So to show you that, I will print out the number loop. And that will change as it goes. So when I run this, you'll see that I get all of the numbers from 0 to 14. So, you can see how loop changed as it went. So it started at 0, then it went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, until it hit 14. So then is 14 less than 15? Yes. So then it prints out 14, and then it adds 1. So now it's 15. And then it goes back and it checks. Is 15 less than 15? No. So then it goes to the next line down here, which is nothing. And it says, okay, well, we're done with the coding. We're done with the program. And it finishes. So you can see that you need to have a variable, and then you need to have in here a Boolean expression, and then if you don't want it to loop infinitely, inside of the loop what you want is some condition to eventually make this Boolean expression false, because you eventually want your loop to stop, depending on how many times you want it to go for. So, the other thing that you can do is something called a for loop. What a for loop is a sort of compact version of the while loop. So, if we do for, then in here is where you would expect to find a Boolean expression, but you actually find a little bit more than that. In here you actually put in, you declare your variable. So, int I equals 0. And then you put in a semicolon, which is kind of weird to do. I is less than 10. I is equal to I plus 1. And this is everything that you need for this loop. And this loop will iterate 10 times. So the first thing that happens is a variable is declared. I is 0. And then this is the Boolean expression, if I is less than 10. And this is the thing that iterates, and the thing that scales the variable up, so that eventually your Boolean expression won't be true. So you can see how this is sort of a more compact version of the while loop, so you can get everything done at the same time. But it also sort of restricts your freedom with the things that you can do. So both of these structures have their uses. And I can also print out the value of I. So I should get the numbers 0 through 14, and then 0 through 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, excellent. Now just one or two other things that we want to note. You can have conditional statements in these loops. And one function that you can do is called break. So, let's say if loop equals 4, or equals 4. So if loop is 4, then we do what's in this. So if we put in break, what that does is it will immediately pull us out of the loop. It will immediately break us out of the loop. So you'll see that now we only get the numbers 1 through 4 in our little dialog box over here. Because what happens is it goes through and it says, okay, loop is 0, 0 less than 15, okay, and then it will keep going until eventually it's 4. And then this becomes true. If 4 equals 4, break. So when it becomes 4, it rips you out of the loop, and it will just dump you right here, and then it will do this. So that can be a useful function. If some condition happens and you want to immediately get out of the loop, you can do that. That is an ability of yours. A couple other things are these braces sort of separate variables from the rest of the program. So if I were to create a variable here, int b equals 3, I actually can't use it outside of these braces. So if I did print out b, it gives me some kind of, we can't find the variable error. Yeah, cannot find symbol variable b, even though it's right here, because these braces sort of separate it from the rest of the code. So you can only use variables inside of the braces that it is in. So because this variable loop is inside of this set of braces, this is the immediate set that it is inside. You can use it at any point between here and here. But because the immediate set of braces that this is inside is this, you can only use b between here and here. So that's it for loops. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.